friends, it's Kathy. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's in the Cards Divination. Today we're going to do a pick a pile reading, and the question being asked today is what is coming your way? Or maybe it's more of a statement. What is coming your way? And I decided to do within the next approximate 4-month time period. As you can see, I have 3 piles here for you to pick from. So when you are ready, you will then pause this video, look at which one is speaking to you, which pile. Is it pile 1 that says receive and the oracle card? Is it pile 2 that says be assertive? Or pile 3, manifestation power? So you'll find the timestamps in the description box below. Okay? And so I ask you now to please go ahead and pause this video and look at which pile is really speaking to you. And as I've said in other videos, if it doesn't, you're welcome to go and choose another pile or even the third pile. And if none of them speak to you, that's okay. There will be something coming up in the future that will speak to you. All right, my friends, let's get started. So, will it be pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3? I'll see you in your reading. Pile 1, if you chose the oracle card receive, then this is your reading. Okay, so what is coming your way? So we have this, I pulled another oracle card, and it's give back. Receive and give back. Very interesting. Okay, so now let's look at your tarot cards, which I have pre-pulled for you. And let me just actually move these over here because these are going to be I have 4 tarot cards for you. First card is the Temperance. Your second is the 8 of Swords in the reverse position. Third is the 7 of Cups in the reverse position. And finally, the King of Swords in the reverse position. Okay, so right away, I feel like what will be coming for you to answer the question, initial question, is there's going to be this period of time now where you are going to be choosing what to do. You have been in a state at this point recently or in the past where you just don't know what to do. You've felt like perhaps you've been in a situation where you're just trying to keep the peace. Things are just status quo. You go ahead and you just go along and you're trying not to make waves or problems in whichever area it applies in your life, whether it's a relationship or a career situation or just your daily living. This is also telling me that what's coming now is this time where you are going to have to, you won't have to, but it's going to happen. You're going to want to make a choice. What should I do? That's what this card is telling me, that you've been sort of stuck with different options and ideas and your feelings around this situation. It's not how you want to be. This temperance. Temperance is great if you want to be peaceful and calm, but sometimes it just refers to a time period of inactivity or just keeping the peace. And that can be a negative if you're in a very volatile situation. Now, because these cards are reversed, but these cards are telling me that all of a sudden you're going to be free to make your own choice and your own decision. Maybe you've been making some excuses for yourself up till now as to what you wanted to do. And this King of Swords in reverse tells me it's like I get the feeling that this is more about what you've been doing or how you've been feeling. Maybe you've been very critical over what it is or what you're going to decide on, or there could be somebody in your life, perhaps a male partner, a friend of someone importance in your life, the male, who could be very critical of your ideas or what you've chosen to do now. Because it's showing it, all the cards are in the reverse, there may be something that isn't quite right about the choice. Okay. So, what you need to do, and I feel this may be even around, well, it is, it's about giving back. Now, let me just explain further. I have some Kipper cards here I pulled, and the first card I pulled there is the coffin. And don't panic, it's not what you think. All right. The thief. And finally, the community card. Okay. So I feel like this situation is telling you to give, well, it is, it's telling you to give back, but give back perhaps to your community even. For some of you, that could look like charitable work or volunteer work, something you've been perhaps making excuses of up till now. And then all of a sudden, you have to make that decision of what it is you want to do. Perhaps you've already extended the interest to someone and they may be reaching out to you and wanting your help. So it's something that you've felt, and if it isn't that, if it's pertaining, if the situation is pertaining to something else, because this is a general reading, we can't be that specific. Only you yourself know that part of it. But it is around something that you have felt closed off from. Okay. And perhaps in the past, it was something that was taken away from you. You didn't have that option. You didn't have that choice in the past. And now it's coming up. Okay. The community then references people that care about you. It's not necessarily in the community, but it's around those people in your life, whether it's friends, family, coworkers that care about you. And it's time now for you to choose which direction you want to go. Don't allow any naysayers to get in your way. So I know originally I had said that there might be something wrong with the choice going forward. And what I'm going to tell you is that the right choice, or the one that is the best choice for you, that would not show these cards in the reverse position, is something where you give back. Whether it is a work situation, you give back to your coworkers, you give back in some fashion. I mean, when we work, we always do give back, right? But it's not about that. It's about something that you know is going to be good for someone else. It's going to be in their best interest. Getting something in return that will be for their greater good. Okay. So that's why I say a lot of you, it could definitely be around volunteering, charitable work, getting involved in your community, doing something to help others, give back to them. And what happens then is, as we know, when we give back, we receive. We receive. It's the greatest gift, is to be able to help others, and it comes back to you twofold or even more. Okay. So this situation, and even if it's a relationship, we'll look at it from that aspect. If this involves a relationship you're in right now, and there's maybe you've been feeling a little trapped, maybe you've been feeling like you haven't had any choice, any say in the matter, and suddenly you decide what you're going to do. This is the Seven of Cups. Suddenly the choice is there and you're going to do it. Now, the King of Swords, if it's referencing your partner, whether it's a male or a female partner, they are going to be against it. They could be the one who is sort of trying to stand in your way, whether it is because they're critical of it and they don't like, and they're trying to make you feel bad, then that is what you should be not listening to, because it's got, it has to be something, it has to be a two-way street here. In other words, these two cards in a relationship, obviously, don't just give all the time. You need to be receiving as well, because obviously a one-sided relationship is never going to be successful. So there is a point where you may say enough is enough. Doesn't necessarily mean you'll leave. It just means that we need to do something about this situation, okay? And that can also apply, like they say, with work. Maybe you're the one that's taking the heavy load all the time. It's always give, give, give. And the other people, other coworkers maybe are just not. It's time. This is the time that's coming for you where a decision is going to be made and you're going to make it. You no longer want to feel trapped. You're free in some fashion. You're free to make that choice. Don't let this naysayer stand in your way. All right. Now, I hope this made some sense for you. If it resonated, it's not a bad reading. It just means that time has come to now make that choice, that particular one you want to make, and just make sure it's done from a good heart, that it is giving back in some way in a positive fashion. Okay, I hope that made sense, and I look forward to seeing you in my next reading. Bye for now. Pile number 2. If you chose the Be Assertive Oracle card, then this is your reading as to what's coming in approximately the next 4 months time period. Okay, so let's have a look at this. I have another Oracle card for you. The first advice of the Oracle says be assertive and forgiveness. Let's just show you that one. Forgiveness. It's a beautiful card. Okay, so I'll put these like that so we can see. There we go. So you can see them. Okay. All right, I already drew your tarot cards, and I will show you what we received. First card is the Queen of Swords in the upright position. Okay. Then we have the Star, also in the upright position. It's a beautiful card. Okay. And then we have the Knight of Wands in the reverse. And finally, the Three of Pentacles in the reverse position. Okay. I'm already getting messages from this, and what it's telling me, let me just turn this a little for you, is that there's definitely someone in your life who dropped the ball, let you down. That's never good. Now, they may not have lived up to what you'd hoped, your expectations. Perhaps they weren't committed in some fashion. For a lot of you, it's very much around work situation or friend. There is a sense of, there could even have been a third person that is involved in this mix. It doesn't necessarily refer to, say, cheating or anything like that. It's more they're interfering, getting in the way. They're having an influence on this other person in some fashion. And you got hurt. Um, they maybe were very immature about how they were conducting themselves. In fact, I would say if this is a work situation, you were working with in a project with them, and they could even have taken all the credit for that project that you had worked so hard on with two others, well, with this person plus another one. So the three, obviously, the three of you may have been involved in a project. And maybe this person or the other one together took all the credit and you were left with nothing, shall we say. So, this is sort of what the situation tells me about what could be going on. Okay. Now, what's going to happen in the future? What's coming? The message for you in the next 4 months. It looks like this is going to be brought to light. It's going to be shown that this situation, they were in the wrong. There's some deviousness. Well, I don't want to say devious, almost like insecurity around them. They wanted to be the ones that look good. Okay. And especially if it's a work situation. It's going to come to light and you're going to look like the better person potentially, because I get the feeling you didn't actually maybe say anything about it. You might have just sort of taken it internally, hurt and the disappointment and everything that went on. Whether this is a friend, a coworker situation, even a romantic partner, but I don't feel necessarily it's around romance so much. I feel like it's more, it could even be friendship. Oh, it could even be a family member. Yeah. But somebody really disappointed you and hurt you and made you look, it just doesn't look good. Like they were not supportive. They weren't there for you. They did not live up to your expectations of how things were going to go. And now you've been sort of sitting there. How do I deal with this situation? Okay. Going forward, the good news is it is going to be dealt with. As I said, it's going to come to light. You can see the star. Look at her looking at the light. For me, when I look at this, it's almost like you've been underwater. It's like you've been sort of drowning in this misery and you're feeling sorry for yourself and you feel like nobody's paid attention, but it is. It's going to be noticed. It's going to come. And the good news is that you're suddenly going to find your voice. The Queen of Swords in the upright position is awesome. That's where this card comes in. Be assertive. That is her, Queen of Swords. It doesn't mean you have to be miserable. It just shows people what you will and won't tolerate. Boundaries, right? It's always about boundaries. The forgiveness part is the tough part. That's the part that you need to let this go. Let that balloon go. Let that she's looking at in this picture, or this the light. It's actually the star. But you need to let it go. Be the bigger person. Forgiveness. Don't allow this to fester anymore. Don't allow it to bother you. I often think that, well, we know eventually things will come around. It doesn't always mean if you get revenge, shall we say, but things usually come to light. Often it's when we don't care anymore and it really doesn't matter. But in this case, I feel it still bothers you. There's been this time period of sort of waiting for something to happen on it, or even just festering. It's the word I'm hearing. It's been festering in you. So you need to be able to let this go and be the bigger person and forgive this person for what they've done. And it may even be two people, maybe even three could have been involved. But you are going to, moving forward, coming forward, it looks like you will be the bigger person. You will be able to let it go. But it's also tells me that you are going to set your guidelines. And I think that's what happened initially as to why this happened. You didn't have your boundaries up. You didn't make them clear. This is the way it's going to be. Okay. And now you're going to be given the opportunity, it looks like, to express that and put up those boundaries and move forward in a better, more positive direction. But forgiveness is the most integral part, and it's the hardest part too. So I pulled some Kipper cards. Let's see what we got from Kipper as well about this. And the first card I got was a gift. Okay. Gift. Despair. Yeah, that looks like what's happened. Okay. And last card is pathway. Okay. So yes, that definitely seems to express that sort of situation. In fact, initially, it probably started off as a good thing because the gift is often something like an offer or a present, a blessing, something that was positive for you. Unfortunately, it caused you a tremendous amount of worrying and stress and grief, and it's just been, oh, you know what? For some of you, you might have even lost your job because, and I'm looking at this, not hiring. If you look at the despair card, and maybe you can't see it, but in the top, it says not hiring in that window. You may even be, maybe whether you lost a job or you lost out on an opportunity to get a job or to get a position. Maybe you lost it out to somebody else. This person is slick, this Knight of Wands. They're the kind of person that just seems to fly by the seat of their pants in life and get everything handed to them. So it could even be around a situation like that. But the pathway tells me not only has this maybe gone on for a while, but you're on the right path, even though it doesn't feel like it. The star also indicates that you are on your spiritual path, and this is part of your growing experience. So, my friend, we shall sum this up as to what could potentially coming your way in the next 4 months. There is a chance to forgive. There is an opportunity to set your boundaries, your guidelines, and to turn this into a more positive situation and not allow something like this to happen again. Okay? Because when we forgive, now you're moving in forward direction. Forgiveness and love go hand in hand. They're hard to do, to forgive when we've been wrong, but it's important. That's part of this lesson. I feel this is very much this has been, like I say, sticking with you for some time. I feel that you've been feeling really stressed about it. And I want you to know that you're given this opportunity coming up. What you do with it is your choice, but it looks like it has the potential to move you in a more forward and a more positive way. And you come out looking like a better person as far as, not that you're trying to do that, but you're the adult. You're the one who is going to be making the good decisions and leading this situation. Okay, so I will leave that with you, my friends. I hope this resonated for you, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye for now. Pile 3. If you chose the manifestation or card, then this is your reading. Okay, so I picked another oracle card for you as well. And this one is listen to your intuitive feelings. Okay, so let's just place those over here. And let's see. I pulled some tarot cards ahead of time for you, and let's start with those. So we want to see what's coming for you in the next approximate 4-month time period. So the first card I pulled was the Six of Pentacles in the upright position. And we have the Eight of Cups in the reverse. The Five of Swords in the reverse. And the Hangman as well in the reverse position. Okay. So let's see what we've got going on here. All right, coming up. First of all, what's led up to this, I feel, is this particular situation right here. These two. There perhaps has been a misunderstanding or a conflict with someone else over something you really wanted to do, something you would enjoy. It could even be as something as simple as just a socializing, getting out, doing things together, or vacation, taking a trip for some of you, going away, or just going away on because now things have opened up and you just feel like you need to get going. Problem is, you've been stuck in this cycle of you can't get it out of your head. In other words, you just want to. You've been a while where it's been bothering you, and you're not in a position right now where you are conflicted, but it has caused you some stress and some angst. And it could even revolve around just money situation. But I don't feel that money is actually at the root of this problem, to be honest. I think you just haven't been putting yourself out there for some reason and making something happen. The manifestation talks about that, wanting something to occur, something to come forward for you. Let me see what Kipper says about it. First card is the Lovers. And the second is the courtship. And the third is expectation card. So it looks like that it's potentially, the courtship card tells me that it could very well be um, you've been waiting to get out there and have fun and do things, and you have not. You've been probably a little more isolated. And even as a couple, because there's two couples in here, maybe you're not doing the things that you wanted to do. Like you're not getting out there. Maybe you don't have a date night. Maybe you just haven't been, you've been letting things go, sliding, as we say, when it comes to relationships. There's this level of expectation around this. This is what you've been waiting for. And going forward, it looks like it still seems to be a waiting game here. The cards are telling me that it doesn't look like it may change for another 3 months after the 4 month time period. So whatever this relates to for you, it may take a while. Okay, so it could even be, like I said, vacation. It could be around going away together, enjoying time together, something you both love to do, or maybe you're trying to save some money. Maybe things you've been disagreeing about the money part of it, and this is what looks like could be coming for you. There's a balance financially with it. So it just might mean you might have to wait a little longer so you can save up some more money. It's a sacrifice. Sometimes we have to sacrifice time in order to get what we want as far as moving forward. But the oracle cards are telling you about manifesting it. So maybe you can look at other ways that you can get that happening soon. Whatever it is that you're really wanting, that you're really passionate about, and you really like, there's something there that you've sort of set aside for some of you and you're stuck. You haven't moved forward on it. Okay. Maybe it's been stressing you out for a while. It may not necessarily be just socializing and getting out there or going on vacation. It could be something in your life that you are holding yourself back from. And it could be because of finances. So I'm hearing education. There could be you need to meet with somebody in order to figure out where you're going to be able, when you can get this started and get that going and making it happen. Yeah, there was a period there where you were just conflicted. You didn't know what to do, but now going forward in the next 4 months, it's showing that you've let go of the conflict, okay? And you may have to change the way you look at the situation differently, in other words, than what you did before that it wasn't working out. Okay. And again, you may have to sacrifice something. So, for example, if it is, say, a degree or a course that you want to take, maybe you have to look at another avenue. Maybe you have to look in a different direction. Because, right, going forward, it looks like nothing's really happening, so to speak. I mean, you might end up with the money to do it, be able to exchange it, but it's sort of, like I say, it may have to wait a little bit longer for this to come about for you, but not to worry. It looks like it will happen. It's just often it's about timing, right? So when the expectation card lands at the end, it's telling me like that's kind of the final say. It's like, okay, that's usually about 3 months time period. Your expectation is you're going to meet and find out more information about this, something you really love. And like I say, it could be around education courses, could even be a job. This can be a job interview. Maybe you've been waiting to hear something back, and it doesn't appear that it's going to happen in the next 4 month time period. Sometimes these things can take a long time, especially the higher up you go in the workforce, in a career. It sometimes takes a lot longer to hear back from any employers. So it looks though it's good. The Six of Pentacles in the upright position is a positive card. So within the next 4 months, you might be in a position to start the exchange, okay, between you and whoever it is. The final outcome is to wait for a few more months, 3 more months potentially around there. And this has been something that obviously has weighed on your mind. You've been wanting to get this, you've been wanting this to happen. And it's like the harder we try, the the less it will happen. You know what I mean? It's like often when we really want something badly, we're just hitting our head against the wall. It's not actually coming forward. Sometimes when we release that, and this is what this card is telling me that you're going to be able to release your expectation of what you want and what you want to get. It's like, in fact, you may even feel like you're not going to get what you want in the next 4 months time period, that you're stuck. But it's surprising how things are actually moving behind the scenes that you don't see. What they're telling you, the oracle cards are saying it's time to start making it happen. Maybe, again, like I say, you need to look at the situation from a different angle. Maybe you need to choose a different avenue, a different way, a different job, a different course, whatever it happens to be. I don't feel necessarily, even though these two cards are very romantically entwined, I don't think it's necessarily about a relationship, like a romantic relationship. I mean, for some of you it may, but it seems to be leaning more towards another situation. Okay, that is more around when I say the Six of Pentacles. It keeps drawing me in. It's like there is this what's important to you. Okay. In other words, it could be education, it could be a job, whatever's important to you. I mean, yeah, there's obviously relationships are important too. So if we look at this for some of you from a relationship aspect, um, yeah, it's this expectation that it would be more than what it is. Okay, going forward in the next 4 months. It's like this expectation you're waiting for something to happen, like things are going to get better. For those of you that are single, you're waiting to actually hook up with someone. And I don't mean hook up in that way. I mean to find yourself a partner. And it looks like it could very well happen. It's just, again, it's not within that time period, it seems. But often in spirit, the spiritual work we do, when they talk about manifesting, it's kind of like you have to let it go. You have to put it out to the spirit world that this is what you're hoping for or what you want, and you need to be clear about it. And then you let it go. You don't worry about it. You have to let it go. Okay, and that's what it's telling you. The universe has got your back. They're going to be God, spirit, your guides, whoever you resonate with, they're helping you you need to maybe change the fact that what you wanted isn't necessarily in your best interest. Sometimes we think there's something we really want badly, and we think, oh, if I only had this. It's not always in our best interest. Sometimes it comes in a different form, okay? So we need to be a little patient with this. Yeah, it doesn't look like much is going to go on in that respect, but it will, because the Hangman reverse tells me there'll be a period where you're going to be just getting up and doing, okay? For now, you just have to give it a little bit more time. Your expectations are not being met with that, okay? I hope that resonates with you, and I look forward to seeing you in my next reading. Bye for now.